finally, we're at the December wrap-up. Only took frickin' forever. Am I right? What did I even happen? What was going on? December? I forgot to do my TBR shelf. That's my bad. I read 25 books and only one of them was a DNF. There's my rating pages. Like, I had to hit 150. I hit 152. It was fantastic. This is gonna be the most chaotic wrap up I think I've ever done. I actually finished my reviews and then I had to add more books on there, but I'm missing a couple, which is okay. So we're gonna we're gonna talk about these in no particular order. Oh, but as like a little funsies thing, since I ran out of stuff, I'll give you guys like a quick rundown. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of my 23 books I planned to read. This is my little thing all filled out on that page, all of my books with their ratings. And then we did all my formats, and then there's my mostly year in pixels. I stopped on the 26th apparently. Is there any other yearly ones? There's my book buying tracker. There's no way I only bought one book in September. Try again. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's my Aurelium fully filled out. I'm thinking of doing like a book journals over the years video. Let me know if you want to see that. But anyway, so we're going to do December, no particular order. All of the books are here right now. I read a bunch of graphic novels and such. So we'll start with Saga. I read Saga 7 to 11 in December. Like scattered, which is why I don't want to like talk about it in the order that I read it, because I read books between. Like, it was all over the place. So starting with, this is too far away. I have nothing to prop my book on. But 7, Saga Volume 7, I rated it 5 stars. And then Volume 8 was 4 stars. Volume 9 was 5 stars. Volume 10 was 5 stars. And Volume 11 was 5 stars. So there's only one 4-star in here. And I'm so happy that I'm caught up with this because Volume 11 came out in November, December. So I'm on top of it. Like, I am there. Very fun, very enjoyable, not for children. So be warned, there are some graphic images in these, but fantastic. This follows a family and it's told by the point of view of Hazel, who is technically the little girl on the front here. And she's kind of telling the story of her family, of how her parents met, and her parents are on opposing sides of a war, their families and everything. The dad is on a moon, he has horns, and the mom is on the planet that this moon rotates around, and she has wings, and Hazel is born from those parents, and this is kind of like their life of this war and on the run and convincing people to come to their side and yada yada yada. Lots of stuff happened. So many things. I mean, we're 11 volumes in, like, come on. It's crazy. Next up, I read 4 volumes of Heartstopper in prep for the 5th volume coming out in December. It did come out, I did buy it, and I have not read the 5th yet. 1 and 2 was a reread for me because I read them previously, and then 3 and 4 were first time reads, so I very much enjoyed it. This was very fun, very cute. Love it. Everybody knows what this is about. If you haven't watched the show, like, the show was amazing. The graphic novels are amazing. It's cute. Ugh. So on my first read of 1 and 2, I read them both 4 stars, but I upped number 1 to a 5 star, and number 2 stayed at a 4 star, and then 3 and 4 were both 5 stars. They're like branching off into like dealing with really good issues that I think are a fantastic thing to talk about and to teach people how to help other people with things. Ugh, so good. The last graphic novel that I read this year, I gave 5 stars, and that was Teen Titans Robin. This, fantastic. No notes. I love everything about it. I cannot wait for the next one. This is one of my favorite series, and I will be on top of it till the very end. We're going to start with the thick books. So now we're on to the books, because we talked about the graphic novels. I read the thickest book, and that was Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Oh my gosh. First of all, 5 stars. Second of all, this was everything I could have hoped and dreamed. Our 2 main characters, Shallan and Kaladin. Oh my god. are finally meeting in this book, and it was everything I could have wanted as books fall behind me. I was so surprised like this didn't take me 3 years to read like The Way of Kings did, and I loved every second of it. Shallan is learning about her magic, Kaladin's learning about his magic, and then they're just like discovering secret cities. I can't get enough of this. I love it so much. High fantasy, man. Oh, I need more of this high fantasy. Slightly smaller and different genre, but I think I gave this one 5 stars. Yes, I gave this one 5 stars, and it is actually my favorite Emily Henry book as of right now, and it is Book Lovers. This, nothing happened. Fuck all happened. This was so cute. We follow our main character, Nora, which I love the name Nora, by the way. She works in the publishing industry as an agent, and she has kind of like this man that she just meets and immediately doesn't like. And he also works in the publishing industry as an editor. And they kind of like have this meeting and then move on with their lives. And she's like, I will never work with that man. Fuck that man. Terrible, terrible person. And some time passes and her sister goes, we're gonna go to this small town and have the small town experience because I need some time to myself before I have this baby I'm about to have. And so she goes with her sister and finds out that this man lives there because it's his hometown. And it's fantastic. They end up working together, and then they end up falling in love, and oh my god, I love it so much. Next up, I think, what did I give this? I'm not gonna remember any of my ratings. I give this one 5 stars. The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna like this as much as I did, because I hate time travel, and that's what this revolves around. We are following a bunch of characters, our main one being Esta, who is a talented thief because she can stop time and move through it much faster than everybody else, or see how it's moving before she manipulates it, how she needs to manipulate it. And she's been sent back in time to steal a book from the Last Magician, because by getting that book they can unlock the secrets of getting off Manhattan Island and back into the real world, because people of magic are just coming there, getting stuck and dying, and therefore magic is dying. And it's fantastic. The plot twist, the turns, the oh my gosh, even romance in this, 10 out of 10. The fact that she's in the 1920s and like doesn't freak out half the time, pretty good. Next up, I have Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I gave this one 4 stars. This is actually the first book that I read in December, so I don't remember a whole lot of it, but there is a house, a creepy house, and the main character Olivia is coming to this house because she has discovered that this is where her family lives. She didn't know her family. She's grown up in an orphanage her whole life ever since her mom dropped her off, and so she's like, I need to go there to get answers. But what she finds when she gets there is this haunted, creepy house with a family that is in disarray that wishes they could just leave. And from there is just this fantastical adventure, and you know I love V.E. Schwab, like 10 out of 10. This was great. Another fantastical book, I have Mrs. Death by Selena Godin, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not think I was gonna like this when I started it. There was one line that was amazingly good when I started this, and I was like, yes, and then it kept going and it wasn't as crazy as I thought, and I was like, oh, and then it came to the end and I was like, yes. Okay, this was a wild ride for me. I gave it 4 stars. It is super poetic and rhythmic and just like has such a good voice to it, and short enough that you don't get bored. I will say that. I think that if it was longer, it wouldn't have done the same thing to me that it did. But I love an unreliable narrator, and I love an indeterminate ending, and this was just the piece de resistance, okay? I don't know why I said that. I am losing my mind a little bit, I feel like. But amazing. So good. This one follows our main character, well, obviously Mrs. Death, but there's another guy named Wolf who is writing on Mrs. Death's writing desk, and he finds himself writing Mrs. Death's story so that other people can see it, and kind of listening to her as she tells tales. And some of those tales she just says in poetry, in verse, and other times it's like an actual story, and what she's done in her life, and the things, like how she's lived it and how she came into being, and things that she's done, like fall in love and etc, etc. Oh, so good. This one is no surprise. It's kind of obvious. This is 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson, and obviously I give it 5 stars because this series owns me. And if Maureen Johnson doesn't release like another book, I might actually lose it a little bit, because the ending of this one, man, we need another one, okay? So if you're putting off reading this one until she releases another one because you think that you're gonna get sucked in and be disappointed by waiting, I will also be disappointed by waiting. I am okay with putting this one off a little bit longer. I should have, but cry. I need more. Like, I can't stop thinking about it. The book hangover is too real. There needs to be way more. But the mystery in this one, 9 liars, aka this group of 9 friends that go in the, I want to say 80s or 90s, to one of their friends' houses, and they all get drunk, play hide and seek, and then they wake up and 2 of them are dead. And now Stevie has been asked to come to London to solve it, and since she hasn't done a mystery in a while, she kind of needs something to keep her going, so she somehow convinces the school that they need to go on an educational trip to London, and gets there. Obviously, she's also there to see her boyfriend, because I would too. If I had a boyfriend in London, I would go. Up next, we have the Atlas 6 by Olive Blake. Oh my gosh, I don't know why her name is so hard to say. I was gonna say Olivia earlier, I'm gonna be honest. This one was obviously 5 stars for me. I know I own the special edition, but I have an inkling that I kind of want to just go buy the regular editions as well, because it would be nice to own both. But I haven't even read the second book or the third. But I'm like, I must own all of the editions. And this has become an obsession, okay? In this, we're following 6 people that go to the Library of Alexandria to learn magic. They already know some magic. They are really powerful magicians, which are called something else I don't recall the name of right now. And they're all fighting for a spot to be part of the society. And only 5 of them get to be part of the society, not all 6. So they're all working their hardest, and the cast of characters was great. We're following all 6 point of views, which is a little bit difficult in the beginning. My favorite personally are Libby and Nico. I don't really like Parisa. She's probably my least favorite, but also having like the characters in the side here was very helpful to look at. I was like, I know who that is. So I much appreciated that, and I actually want to reread it before I even read the second one, which is freaking insane, but I feel like I should read the second one and the third one and then reread it. That might be the best course of action. Next up, I have A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, and I gave this one 4 stars. I also have like the pretty edition for this. I am trying to read my pretty editions because they deserve it. I read this one pretty quickly. It was very easy to get through, and I actually had a really good time. I very much enjoyed most of the first little bit when Constantana was saved by Dracula, except I don't know if I don't remember him calling, Dracula. I liked their little bit by themselves, and then when they add the other lady to it, it was kind of like I was a little conflicted, and then they added somebody else as well, and I was just like, as they added more people into their relationship, I was like growing more and more concerned for her and her well-being as they went on, but it kept the same vibe the whole time, the dark, mysterious, not really telling everything of what's going on. They very much did not focus on like the vampire aspect of it. It was more of the romance and the immortalness of what was happening, and I thought that was a really good idea. Hot take, I thought that was fantastic. So, I loved it. I actually would like to reread this, but there is another one coming out. It's coming out soon. Fantastic. And last, but certainly not least, my 5-star last to read of the year. Obviously, I have to talk about it dead last because it was my last read. Number 152, The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This was really good, really fun. We start off with our main character who is in prison, and she's been in prison since she was 7 with her father and been there for about 10 years. And she is the known healer. She knows stuff. She learned it from her father, and she is kind of expected just to heal everybody. And then all of a sudden the rebel queen is in her care, and she's like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this? The rebel queen was captured and she's deathly ill, and she has to face a trial. This trial is destined to kill her, like it is designed to kill her, and she can't let that happen. If this woman dies, basically she forfeits her life. So instead, while this lady is healing, the main character, whose name I do not recall, oh my gosh, I should figure that out, Kiva, decides to take on the trials herself. And it's fantastic and amazing, and I need to continue on the series. I haven't yet, and I just like need to pick up the next book immediately because this was fantastic. There's also some like fun little bits in here if you're reading this physically where all of a sudden she like passes out and the pages are black. Love that idea. This was fantastic. Like 10 out of 10 idea. Amazing. This was just fantastic. So read it. But anywho, do I have a favorite? I have too many favorites. I think that these three were actually my favorite. The Atlas 6, The Prison Healer, and The Words of Radiance. These are my favorite books in December. Let me know what your favorite reads were. I'd love to know if one of these you've read before and you want to talk about, especially like these two. And A Dowry of Blood. I love talking about A Dowry of Blood. Fantastic. Please do in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all have a good time and a good 2024, even though it's like 2 months in by the time you're going to see this. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!